welcome back to our academy. Now we are getting to the interesting questions. On this lesson, we'll tell you about bookies and taxes. If you're wondering if you need to pay taxes as a bookie, the answer is predominantly yes. Of course, there are some exceptions depending upon your jurisdiction. However, since most of the students taking this course are in the United States or Canada, you will need to pay taxes. In the US and Canada, they allow people to pay taxes on gambling winnings. Americans need to pay taxes on all gambling winnings, whereas in Canada, you only need to pay taxes on gambling winnings if that's your primary income. However, even if you maintain a job in Canada, it's a smart idea to claim your profits operating a bookie as gambling winnings. Neither the IRS or CRA will know how gambling winnings were derived. They won't know that you were operating a sportsbook, but it is important to pay taxes on profits you make. The problem with not paying taxes: eventually the tax authorities are going to catch up with you. The more money you make and the bigger your business grows, the faster they'll catch you. Therefore, if you're serious about being a bookmaker, you have to always pay taxes on the winnings, because if you're ever audited, you're not going to be able to explain where the money came from. At that point, you're going to end up losing all of the money, or in some cases, more than what you made because of the penalties and fees and interest that you'll pay on unclaimed income. Bookies and tax evasion. One of the most common reasons a bookie gets in trouble with the law is because of tax evasion. It's impossible for a bookie making millions to go under the radar. It's not going to happen, and that's typically when the feds come and make sure you end up going to prison. You also can't live a millionaire's lifestyle while claiming you own a small landscaping company. What some bookies will do is have family purchase most things like vehicles, property, etc., and that's not always possible based on your family's circumstances, but it's a safe way to keep things out of your name. That way, if something happens, you're not going to lose everything you've worked for. If you're making less than 6 figures annually, you don't even need to worry about this though. Once you're making millions, you're going to want to move offshore to protect yourself as well as your business. The main thing to take this lesson is to always pay taxes on your profits. Simply claim the profits as gambling winnings and then pay the tax rates in your jurisdiction. Budgeting for taxes. Believe us when we say income tax evasion is a common way bookies get busted. Make sure you're always budgeting for your taxes. At your current job, you likely have your taxes taken off your pay every week. But when you run a business, that's not the case. You have to save enough money each month to pay your taxes at the end of the year. It's a good idea to plan ahead. Contact a professional in your area and find out the exact rate you'll need to save for gambling winnings. You don't need to provide them with too many details. It's important to pay your tax obligations on time every year. If you don't, you run a higher risk of being audited. If you pay on time and don't try and game the system, you'll almost always be fine.
Learned a lot.
We hope you learned a lot in this
like
lesson.
and subscribe.
Please remember to
and
like
keep
and
learning
subscribe
about
to
the
keep
bookie
getting more
industry.
lessons.